Hello everyone, let's study about human respiratory system. It includes respiratory tract and lungs. Respiratory tract starts from nostrils, then further leads to inferior nasal concha, and then leads to middle nasal concha. Then the air comes in nasal chamber, and then there are superior nasal concha. Then it leads to pharynx. Pharynx act as a common passage for food and air. Then it leads to larynx, which is also known as voice box. Then it leads to trachea, which is a 10 to 12 centimeter long straight tube extending up to mid-thoracic cavity. In complete length of trachea, 16 to 20 C-shaped rings are present, which prevent trachea from collapsing. Trachea rings are incomplete on the dorsal surface of trachea. This is the right lung, and this over here is left lung. A pair of lungs are present in the thoracic cavity. In human being, right lung is made up of 3 lobes, 1, 2 and 3, whereas on the other hand, the left lung is made up of 2 lobes, 1 and 2. Lungs are covered by a double membrane called pleural membrane. Outer membrane is parietal pleura and inner membrane is visceral pleura. The outer pleural membrane is in close contact with the thoracic lining, whereas the inner pleural membrane is in contact with the lungs. In between these membranes, there is a very narrow cavity called pleural cavity. This cavity is filled with pleural fluid. Pleural fluid reduces friction on the lung surface. Each lobe is further divided into several lobules, and each lobule is further divided into air sacs. And each air sac is lastly divided into 3 to 4 alveoli, which are also termed as the unit of lungs. Let's study about bronchial tree and respiratory tree. When trachea enters into the thoracic cavity, it divides into 2 branches called primary bronchus at the level of 5th thoracic vertebrae. Then primary bronchi divides into secondary bronchi. Secondary bronchi divides into tertiary bronchi, then into pulmonary bronchioles, then into terminal bronchioles. Terminal bronchioles opens into respiratory bronchioles, which leads to alveolar duct. Alveolar duct opens into alveolar sac, which further leads to alveoli, where the diffusion of gases takes place. So, in human respiratory system, there are 2 zones. One, the conducting zone, and the other is the exchange zone. Conducting zone extends from external nostrils up to terminal bronchioles, and exchange zone extends from respiratory bronchioles up to alveoli. It is called conducting zone because it conducts air up to terminal bronchiole. It is called exchange zone because this is the main arena where exchange of gases takes place. The conducting zone transports the atmospheric air from the atmosphere and clears it from foreign particles, humidifies it, and also brings the air to body temperature. On the other hand, exchange zone is the site of actual diffusion of O2 and CO2 between blood and atmospheric air. This is all about the respiratory tract of human respiratory system. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe our channel Doppler's Classes. Thank you.